The perfect work from home setup is a balance of looking like you're in a professional studio, but also the simplicity of being able to set it up with the press of a single button. So, my parents just moved here to Utah, about 30 minutes away from us, and if you have any kids, you know how exciting it is to have grandparents nearby, but I have been tasked with setting up the tech in their home. And this video is probably gonna be video 1 of 3, starting with the work from home setup today. Next, we're doing a theater downstairs, and last, smart home stuff around the home. But today, we are setting up my dad's Zoom call desk. And he is not a tech guy, so this has gotta be easy. I hope I brought everything I need, because if not, it's a 35-minute trip back home. But the main centerpiece that we're building everything around is the Insta360 Link 2C, specifically their brand new white one. This is a $150 webcam that looks phenomenal, sometimes up to mirrorless quality, depending on how much effort you put into it. Insta360 is also the sponsor of today's video. But let's set up the camera first so that way you guys can see the beginning and the end of how this looks when we're starting and when we're done. Let's start with the laptop webcam. Where'd the laptop go?
The ghost got it.
Yeah, uh-oh.
Every house comes with a ghost.
Oh, we left it in the kitchen. All right.
Your favorite laptop.
Don't talk to me about it. Let's see what this setup would look like if I let my dad set it up. And that means just the laptop webcam. That's our starting point. As long as we can do better than that, we're good. And we're gonna do a lot better than that. All right, this is the starting point here. This is what it would look like and sound like if my dad did a Zoom call all by himself. Luckily, he doesn't have to do that because this is pretty rough. Oh man, we might actually have to close that window even with the nice stuff. We'll see, we'll see. That'd be a good test.
I believe.
That'd be a good test. Let's see if we can leave that open. The very first decision we had to make was which way the desk faces, and I wanted to utilize all this natural light here. Originally, the desk was facing this way, directly towards the windows, but that would put some real flat lighting. I figured if we can kind of get this diagonal shot here, he'll get some depth on his face from the side lighting, and it would look really good. But just in case he has to shoot a call at night, we got this light for him. This is the Elgato Keylight Mark II. Like I can't clamp anything to the desk, so I have to use these stands. And honestly, that made everything 10 times more difficult. This light is gonna be farther from him than I would have liked. Man, I just noticed how long this thing is. Elgato makes an arm that's supposed to clamp onto stuff, and this isn't it. I don't have one yet, Elgato. So we're using a regular desk clamp to mount the camera, and I didn't realize how long it was. Should still work, should be fine. Oh, see, if we were using a fat boy camera like the one you're using, this wouldn't fly. Probably have his computer all the way up here. Do we just take advantage of this extendo arm and have this thing right over his computer? I think we do.
You usually think that's the point of extendo arms.
Yeah, I think we make this a happy little mistake. Oh, look at that. He's gonna love that. So here's what we started with the laptop webcam, and now here is what we're working with now with the Insta360 Link 2C. That is different. And while we're here, let me actually tell you about this webcam because they are the sponsor of this video. I do need to say, looking at the image, one of my favorite things about this webcam is how good it looks directly out of the box. Just plug and play. This is auto exposure, so you can see I still have details in the super bright side of my face and the super dark side of my face. This is auto focus, and I did make a slight adjustment to the white balance just because there was so much red in my room. It was making me look a little pink, but very minor. This is basically how the camera looks plugged in. which is just wild. But the main reason I've become a big fan of this webcam since it came out a couple months ago is just how high quality the sensor is inside of it. Just the high quality image, whether you're shooting 4K 30 like we are right now or 1080 60. I mean, you can just see how much detail and clarity we're getting in this shot. And we don't even have HDR turned on yet, which I'm gonna do right now. I think I might actually leave that on. I think that looks better. Another thing I really like about this camera is the ability to auto frame and make sure you're always in the center. Even though there's no motorized parts to it, it's got a high enough quality sensor that it can zoom in and crop around and center you. So you can use gestures to turn that on or off, and wherever you're sitting, you're in the center of the frame and you're in focus. And the Insta360 Link software makes it super easy to fine tune your look if you want to adjust some things, like I did with the white balance earlier. Although honestly, it looks really good out of the box. You won't need to do much to it. So this camera is designed for a lot of different people. It's designed for educators, live streamers, content creators, professionals on Zoom calls like we're doing now. And that's the reason we used it in this video, because if you want the ease of a plug and play webcam, but you want the quality of something close to a mirrorless camera, and you want it at the price of $150, well, that's what you're gonna get out of the Insta360 Link 2C. If you wanna pick one of these up, they're doing a spring sale discount right now, bringing it down $19, so down to about 130 bucks. I'll put a link to it in the description down below. Next thing we gotta do is get this teleprompter working. This is one of the requests that my dad had when checking out my Zoom call setup. He saw the teleprompter and then I could talk directly to the people with the camera behind my screen, and he said, I want that. So that's what we're doing. I do have one extra, and I'm giving it to him. Lucky man. Ready for this? And there we are. The camera is right behind the screen. This is the ultimate Zoom call device, by the way. After the webcam, of course. But the Elgato prompter, I can't do Zoom calls without it anymore. One of the issues I'm having here is the light from this side is way more, like I thought it'd be more Rembrandt. I thought we'd get more direct on the face. And so this side is so shadowed, but I need this light to be here for the clamp. So I'm wondering if we make some slight adjustments, and we have, when he's on Zoom calls, kill two birds with one stone, kind of shift him this way, have his Zoom calls be like this. Oh, that's already so much better on the lighting. Can we move this camera here real quick? Now we don't, oh, that is way better. I think we might be able to find a way between the two. We could even do this. This is the art I was talking about before. Put it more like this, and he can talk to the people right here. And now he's not getting the window behind him anymore with that super overexposed thing. He's getting his setup and a garbage can, apparently. But he's getting a nicer background and he's getting nicer light on his face. Look how much better that looks. Oh, let's split the difference here. Bring it in a little bit more. Now that is a Zoom call setup. Now we got to get the microphone running. So I'm guessing if we were to grab the microphone that the computer's picking up, it probably doesn't sound very good. Making a single cable solution is the only way this is gonna work for him. So I found this USB hub. It was like 40 bucks and it does a couple things. It was cheap. It's got 8 different ports and it's got power delivery for the computer. So it should do pretty much everything I need. This is the new secret sauce. An ultra simple, ultra high quality microphone solution here. The one weird thing about this USB hub is that even with DC power in, it can't power the laptop. You have to add another power supply, like a laptop charger, USB charger, in order for the power to go into the laptop. So like this charges the peripherals plugged in, and then the USB power charges the computer, which I guess if you want a small power brick, that's fine, but it's kind of annoying that I have to plug it in twice. Oh well, I'm being picky. Got a little circle there. Got some power. This is the moment of truth. Let's plug into the laptop and see if it works. I gotta ask my mom his password.
Should I get that on camera?
Mom. All right, test recording for the microphone. This is the laptop microphone. That's what you'd be hearing if you was just jumping into a regular Zoom call. This is what it sounds like with the new Deity microphone. So how are we feeling about this? Good? Bad? I gotta take a listen. You tell me in the comments though, because you can hear it. I haven't heard it yet. The first, and I'd say the pinnacle piece of gear added to this was the webcam. Switching from a built-in webcam on the laptop to an Insta360 Link 2C, that's making his Zoom calls look better than anyone else he's ever gonna be on a Zoom call with. Whether it's the adjustment from the camera being neck height to being eye height, or just the better image quality in general, better dynamic range, that's gonna make him pop when he jumps into any Zoom call. Being that my dad's not a super techie guy, condensing everything down to a single point makes the most sense. So physically, just about everything mounts to the tripod over here. And for the USB cables, everything is going into a single USB hub made by Anker. That should keep this super clean and also super simple for him to set up. And so far, everything's working great. Having one point of failure is always stressful for like the computer side of things, but having multiple points of failure is stressful knowing my dad. I'd rather just give him one. And last time we were here setting this all up, I set up a little bit more of a complicated audio setup, thinking it was simple because it's what I used, but it's the Stream Deck Plus with the XLR dock built into the back. I had two problems with that. One is it added just a ton of extra stuff and cables to his desk, so it kind of made a mess of the whole space here. But two, it's gonna leave too many variables. It's gonna leave too many potential complications. I'm worried that he's gonna plug it in and now all the audio from his call is gonna be routed out of the headphone jack of the audio interface, and he's gonna wonder why he can't hear anyone, and he's gonna call me stressed out and frustrated that nobody's making any sound. Those will be his words. So switching to a USB shotgun microphone like the Deity, was it VMic D2? Nope, VMic D4. That ended up being the perfect play because it's USB in, the USB powers it and sends the microphone signal directly into the system, but it has no interface for the audio to come out. So when plugging it in, there's no risk of audio being routed to the microphone like a lot of other USB mics that have a headphone jack. I'd put a link to this in the description, but I think it's been discontinued and I can't find it anywhere. If I find another one like this that's currently being sold, I'll put a link to it in the description down below, but no promises on that. This is kind of a one-of-a-kind thing that they don't make anymore. And it's the perfect work from home mic. Hate to see it. Look, I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but I'm under the impression that we have created the world's greatest, easiest, and highest quality work from home setup. In situations like this, especially when it comes to boomers. No offense, boomers watching this. And I feel the same way, but simpler, the better. A good sounding easy mic, an easy to set up good looking webcam, a teleprompter, everything going into a single cable. I think we pat ourselves on the back here. Let's top this all off. Let me give you before and after of what this looked like when we started and what this looks and sounds like now.
All right, welcome everybody to my Zoom call. This is where I show you guys what my forehead looks like, and then also what my window looks like, because that's all you can see.
Welcome everyone to my Zoom call. How do I look? How do I sound? Just, I gotta ask the question, is this better? I just, I know the answer, but I gotta ask you anyway. But that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. If you don't, just leave an emoji for engagement. Hit the like button while you're down there. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, happy working from home? Is that what we're doing? I don't know. I'm gonna be a super villain to turn around though.